we talked a lot. We talked a lot about not playing Reinhardt and Nats.
And the thing is, John, it wasn't even Reiner that lost the games, it was me. If I'd have played better, I'd been fine.
Welcome to Energy Potion, a Flesh and Blood podcast where we chat about trying, failing, and sometimes succeeding to play Flesh and Blood as competitively as we can.
I played too cautiously. I should have just played... If I'd have played just aggressive Reiner, I think I would have been fine. And if I drafted well, which I didn't.
And I didn't even want to ask what happened in draft, because...
I've got a pretty good gravy deck. There were 3 gravies in the pod, 2 that should have been gravy. Me and my opposite in the pod both drafted gravy, so we both had really good decks. And so we got paired in round 1 and we drew. Because we both had good gravy decks. And then I beat a Marlin, and I lost to Liam Holden on Marlin, who's an actual, more known player. But that's because he had like 4 salvage shots, which not much I can do about that. But yeah, those draft pods, and that's all over the place. You had some pods quite high up as well that were like drafting 3 puffins, and then you had some that were literally the 4 like Marlin gravy split, the 4-4 split as well. So still to this day, no one's really quite sure how to draft the set, which is good. It's what you want, because it's still the set for Singapore.
That was a fun... Yeah, that's fun. I still don't get how so many Cinders lost to gravy specifically.
Because the gravy decks, as all good illusionists do, have changed the way their deck works to essentially lose points in matchups that are already quite favoured, like Assassin, and gain points into the ninjas and other aggressive decks. And the answer is boats.
I need to take a look.
Because you take allies out, or you take out the allies that obviously are just like feeder allies from Asking Momentum and stuff like that, and you bring in boats, and you go, cool, well, you're going to do damage. I'm going to be able to now block a little bit of it because I'm playing
cards
boats.
that block. Yep.
And like CNCs, you bring them in stuff too, and obviously all that kind of stuff. More 3 blocks, more 2 blocks too as well. But also, I'm pressuring you. And because I'm not having to use my gold to discard as many allies, I can use it to pitch and then present these multiple attack turns that are just good value turns. And then if an ally comes out at the right time, they're in trouble. But things like Sawbones, for example, are immediate must kills for Syndras. Because if they don't, obviously, no flick is ever getting through, and no muscle momentum triggers ever happen. Yeah. These gravy decks have already started.
Is it worth learning gravy if there's a boot set coming out? Because the next... Okay. Canada's Canada. I'm not making it to Canada.
No.
I can't do Copenhagen.
Which is a shame.
Which is a huge shame, but I can't make that weekend. So, Hamburg and Edinburgh are the next big hitters. And there's a PQ season coming up.
Yeah, well, that's October, actually, yeah.
Yeah, October. So, new set will be out. Is it even worth learning gravy?
New set will be out. September, isn't it?
September.
Bloody hell, yeah. We don't have a progress season until the next Super Slam. 2 Brutes and 2 Guardians, John. What more could you ask for? Some would say Warrior, but I wouldn't. I'd say more Brutes.
More Brutes, no, yeah.
So, we're not going to have a season with the high C's heroes for CC.
No.
I suppose we got
Skirmish.
national season is the point.
Nationals is the season. There's a skirmish between now and then as well, isn't there?
Let's not kid ourselves, John. Real formats.
Yeah, okay.
Real formats.
I wasn't going to play skirmish. I wasn't going to ask what format we had.
Ours is crack,
Draft?
shuffle, and play.
Oh, is it? Oh, sounds good.
What's hilarious with that format is that you can get your deck round 1, and if you don't like it, you can buy 3 more packs and do it again. But you can't merge any of the cards, obviously.
So you've got ProQuest in October.
Mm-hmm.
Potentially Hamburg in October. Potentially Edinburgh in November.
Well, Edinburgh is... We kind of have to do Edinburgh.
It's the least logistically challenging.
Which, after having looked at the logistics, is still quite surprising. But yes, it is.
You think it's...
Well, considering there's still like a plane involved, and
yeah. So okay, it's the least logistically challenging because it's in theory on the same land mass.
Yes. Yeah, the train is viable, but also extortion. The plane is cheaper, faster, but is also a plane, and I'm scared of planes.
The advantage of the train is you can take more luggage for less.
True, which you could argue is actually a benefit of the plane, so it means I have to lock in on a deck.
Yep, because you're going to get one small bag to stick under the chair in front of you. Otherwise, you spend £20.
Do I think can I fit an entire weekend's worth of stuff in one small bag?
In the winter? Yeah, absolutely. I can.
What about my 7 pairs of underwear, John?
You stick them in a coat pocket.
Right. Of course. What about decks for side events?
Sorry?
What about decks for side events, John?
I'm playing in the Battle Hardened.
Yeah?
What side events?
There must be
Like
some.
all day Saturday is playing Battle Hardened, regardless of how it goes. All day Saturday is playing Battle Hardened. Like that's my. I'm going. I will play at the top level as long as I can, even if I've got no hope of making day 2. Is there a day 2 at Battle Hardened?
There's cash. Oh, and then the question is, John, what would I play at an event?
Okay. I think the answer to that question is not Reiner.
Okay, so that means it's probably Reiner.
I think the answer to that question is not Reiner.
I think Reiner.
And I think Reiner stays in the debt box for the rest of 2025.
No, surely not, John.
Like it's a new brute set, but with no Reiner support.
Neither did the last brute set, to be fair.
Yeah. So Reiner's not had support since Welcome to Wraith.
Well, no, he got sea legs.
So
And Rally the Coast Guard.
So
and Bam Bam. They got nine slots in the last
slots.
set.
So I mean,
Call it yellow.
I still think I'm on Syndra.
I think Syndra's fine. I think Syndra is
I think Syndra's a deck that other people have to beat her.
Mm-hmm.
And if they can't do that or can't do that fast enough, you win.
Oh.
And they have to play my game.
Yes.
Except for Assassin, which I have an entire sideboard for.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, because Slippy's on the up, Syndra does feel worse.
I like the assassin matchups. I like the assassin matchups because I have a different sideboard.
You do, but like Slippy playing an 80 that is essentially there designed to punish decks that are playing Streamlined and don't want to block. Which is why he's seen more prevalence because of Gravy as well, right?
Yeah.
This is the assassin that can, in theory, clear an ally and push good damage at face. Without losing too much momentum and still sometimes taking cards.
I'd consider playing Slippy, but I don't.
You should play Slippy, John.
I know I should, but I've got so many other decks to play as well. What do you play? Fi?
No.
You're going to play Rhino, aren't you?
Probably. Maybe KO. Which one? I won't say. Yeah.
But it begins with Nar.
Maybe. When I think there was KO were seeing a lot of success this weekend at Nats. There were 2 in the top 8, top 10. I think one made top 8, one didn't. They're both playing exactly the same list because they're from the same play group. Playing like 11 pieces of equipment, like for every matchup, and essentially playing Blanche is like part of the reason they were playing KO. Also, that you can pressure face against Gravy and still present Blanche. Generally, just good, decent matchups, and with Verdance on the down tick, KO looks better, right? The issue is, I still think Finers just does everything that KO list is doing better. He's just a bit more volatile. Or you go, cool, if we are playing in a Guardian and a Brute meta, we probably find space for a Wizard.
That's true.
This is the thing, I don't think we can actually ever see a full Brute Guardian metagame because Verdant still exists.
Yeah.
And Acilio still exists. And Kano, for now, still exists.
I think he'll be around for a quest season.
He won Belgium?
Yeah.
Which isn't enough to LLM, unfortunately. But he'll be around for week 1 of Progress. He might make it to week 2, maybe.
But Acelia would be the Verdance.
I mean, Verdance is very much the hero that puts both of those decks in their place. And Florian does too.
Yeah, true.
Again, as new heroes come in, there's a high chance that decks like Florian creep back up, because if those... The thing is, I can't see Guardians keeping Gravy in check either, really.
No.
The Brutes, maybe. But then, obviously, 2 of those new heroes, Lyeth and the new KO, are like not
how
they're not right. Is the correct phrase. They won't. At least I don't think be using a great deal of their previous card pool, or they won't be using parts that were typically used before. Like I could see KO using a lot of the blue Brute base, and obviously just essentially treating his ability like Marlin's Cannon, and that it's just 4 resources for 4 power. Like I could see him being a very heavily blue deck, which would be interesting. I think people like playing against Rhino.
Why? Because intimidates.
Because every time I sit opposite someone, they go, "Oh, Rhino," and you can tell that no one ever wants to play against Rhino. But everyone always has a nice time when they do, because the game is usually close.
Yeah. Okay.
Like either they lose by a hair's breadth or they win by a hair's breadth, and that makes it fun.
Ira deck's coming out, isn't it?
Well, that's the other kicker, right? Is that, we'll see just how much that actually contributes to the metagame.
I'm on the fence about getting one.
Well, I'd wait until you see what's in it.
Yeah. I still haven't opened my Max Armory deck.
That one... Well, that one you maybe don't need to open, John.
Yeah. I don't think... my optimal max list does not use any new cards from that deck.
No.
Which tells me everything I need to know.
But maybe we'll get an expansion slot that talks about wrenches. I really do like Lyeth and KO's design space, though. Like this whole idea of here's a class and they're reviled, so essentially flipped what they do on its head. Like here you have a Guardian that isn't about big blocks and big attacks, and is essentially about either buffing the attacks, Ranger style, or going wide. And here's a Brute that's all about essentially combat tricks.
Yeah.
Which is like, it's really cool. So yeah, I'm very interested to see where they go with it. Again, we are unfortunately on like the tippy tip of the iceberg.
Thank you for listening to the very first Energy Potion podcast. If you want more competitive Flesh and Blood content, please like, follow and subscribe. Thinking about it, if you don't want more content like this, there's not a lot you can do. Even commenting mean things just helps the algorithm. More soon!